last offseason before he eventually signed a one-year deal with Tennessee, where he had a down year for the Titans with just 6 quarterback hits and no sacks before going on IR with a meniscus tear. And now it looks like he could possibly go back to a Browns team that already has Myles Garrett up front and added Takk McKinley in free agency this year. So, Shannon, for whatever team that ends up signing Clowney, will he be a beast or a bust?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen him be a beast in a very long time. Jadeveon Clowney has not lived up to expectations, Skip, of being the #1 overall pick. He's never had the impact like he had his sophomore year, and they made him come back for his junior year, Skip. And then he's really known for that one hit that still plays up on YouTube, where he jumped the snap, hit the guy, popped his helmet off, got the ball, scooped it up, and tried to take off running. Skip, you do realize for 5 years, he played alongside J.J. Watt in his prime, and he never had double-digit sacks. How in the hell can you play next to J.J. Watt in his prime? J.J. Watt, I'm not talking about J.J. Watt the last 2 years. I'm talking about J.J. Watt, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, finished 2nd or 3rd in the MVP. He played alongside him, opposite of him, and he's never, ever had double-digit sacks. So now, after all of these injuries, I'm expecting Jadeveon Clowney to go somewhere. Oh, he gonna play opposite of Myles Garrett. Are you telling me Myles Garrett right now is the equivalent of what J.J. Watt was in his absolute prime? Absolutely not. So, Tennessee, what did he do for Tennessee? What did he do for Seattle? I'm gonna break the bank. I'm gonna reset the market. 3 sacks don't reset a market. No sacks with 3 quarterback hits doesn't reset a market. Jadeveon Clowney has not lived up to the expectations. So I don't expect him to start now in year 9 after all these injuries, all of a sudden turn into a 13, 14 sack guy. So no, I don't see it. I do not see it.
So what happened with Jadeveon Clowney in 2016? He made the Pro Bowl.
Yes.
In 2017, he made the Pro Bowl.
Yes.
In 2018, he made the Pro Bowl.
Yes.
Our first year, in fact, I think it was our first show ever here on FS1 on Undisputed, you were making the case that J.J. Watt was not only the best defensive player, but the best player in football.
Yes.
Is that in part, or maybe large part, because of the guy who was playing on the other end of the line from him?
You do, before he even got there, you do realize J.J. Watt had about 2 of those Defensive Player of the Year before Jadeveon Clowney even got there.
I am a Clowney fan. I still believe in him, and I am not surprised that Cleveland, of all teams, is very interested in signing Clowney and brought him in to talk yesterday to check him out and probably take a physical because he did have what I consider minor knee surgery that's cut short his year last year.
Well, anybody's surgery is minor as long as it's not on you.
Okay, but it's left meniscus tear. And again, I've had 3 of those done, and it's not that big a deal.
It is, Skip, if you're a professional football player.
Well, but I don't think so. I think you'll come back just fine from that.
Okay.
He is all of 28 years of age, so he's still got a lot left in the tank. Again, I don't even care if he's just a rotational player. I will take him.
When are you going to, Skip, you say you got a lot of, when is he going to empty the tank? Damn, I'm tired of you having something left there. I don't want you to have anything left in the tank. I need you to empty the tank. That's what Tennessee needed. That's what Seattle needed.
Yep. Your favorite website, Pro Football Focus, they liked him last year. Again, in a fairly small sample size, they had him graded 20th of edge rushers, which is still pretty good for the limited amount of time he played.
That's a small sample size. He played, what, 3 games, 4 games?
I think he played 8 games last year. That's what I got.
He played 8 games, and how many sacks did he have?
He had 28 quarterback pressures, which is pretty good because that's on pace for 56, which would have been close to being top 10 among edge rushers. So I thought he was pretty good in the moments I saw him. He flashed occasionally for me. And now young Andrew Berry, who runs the Cleveland Browns and has turned them into a real live football team right before your very eyes with a real live coach and a Baker Mayfield who's actually, dare I say, growing up right before your very eyes. They went and got John Johnson III, and then they went and got Troy Hill. And I thought they were great moves at reasonable prices. And they brought back Rashard Higgins, who I thought was Baker's favorite target. That's the one he goes to when he's in doubt, not Odell. It's Rashard Higgins. And they signed Tack McKinley, which I thought was a good move. And they signed Malik Jackson, which I thought was a good move. And they re-signed their kicker, Cody Parkey. They're a football team and a force to be reckoned with. And if you add Clowney even to the Myles Garrett rotation, if you just play him X snaps, 30 or 40 snaps, but not the whole game, I think you would have a commodity that you can trust. Because to me, he's got star quality about it. I get it, he's not lived up, but yeah. I would take him on my team right now. I'd take him as a Dallas Cowboy like that.
Skip, we haven't seen the impact.
I got it.
Based on what we saw in college, you expected him to be Aaron Donald.
Yep.
That's what you expected.
Although his last year, it was a little shaky. It was a little hit and miss, and everybody was thinking, are you just protecting yourself?
Yes, and I believe it was, because he knew it well. If I just stay healthy, I'm going to be the #1 overall draft pick.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for Skip, that size. Skip, the dude ran 4.6.
He did.
At 266.
He is a freakish talent. And he still is. He's not too old at 28 to give you something.
That's what's so, Skip, that's what's so disappointing. When you see guys with such God-given ability.
The
guy can vertical jump 40 inches at 6'6", 264, run like a deer, can lock out, he plays the run extremely well, tackle for losses. But the impact consistency that you want to see from a guy with that kind of ability, Skip, is not there. Myles Garrett had to turn into what he turned into because I didn't see Myles Garrett. I'm like, hold on, bro. You too big, too strong, too fast to just flash once or twice a game. You got to dominate. Started dominating. People look at Myles Garrett different. I don't see that in Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney got more God-given ability. I believe he has just as much ability, if not more, as Myles Garrett.
I'm going to go more. I'll go more.
He ran ankle leg on a 4x1 100-meter relay team in 4A in South Carolina. That's kind of speed he has. And a defensive end. What defensive end run anchor leg on the 4x1?
Agreed. I hear you.
Come on.
Does he have cold-blooded killer in him? He does not. Does he have that gene in him that's just high motor? No, he doesn't play that way.
Yeah, it's just, Skip, with that, Skip, look at that. Look at that. His nickname should be Graveyard. Because when he leaves the field, there should be bodies everywhere.
That looks like a defensive end to me.
Yes!
Right?
He should. Javon Curse. That's what Javon Curse looked like, Skip. You saw Javon Curse, long arms, the biggest hands I've ever seen. The man had
We've had 2 Javon Curse references in one show right out of the blocks. Right?
You wish you had Javon Curse.
I do.
Javon Curse had a 5X glove. He wore a 5X glove. I got a pair of them. We traded at the Pro Bowl and we traded helmet. But Skip, that's what I expected Jadeveon Clowney to be a step above, even Jadeveon Clowney to be a step above Javon Curse. That's what I was expecting. And it has not come to fruition.
I would still take him. What have I told you about all the remaining free agents? I want pedigree. That's why Minnesota made a good move to say, we want Patrick Peterson. Is he what he used to? No, he's not what he used to be. He will help you just on his stature, his aura, his being in your DB meetings. He's being a coach on the field. His presence will be huge. That's why I wouldn't mind having Richard Sherman on the Dallas Cowboys or Malcolm Butler on the... You need pedigree. Clowney is pedigree to me because he's made 3 Pro Bowls.
Yes.
And has he underachieved? Absolutely he has.
That's it.
Is he still a candidate for a flash season where he gets in the right place at the right time with the right coach and the right surroundings of young star players like a Myles Garrett to push him a little bit? Yep, he is.
Well,
I would do it.
Well, I hope you're right. I hope you're right, because Seattle didn't get the kind of production that they thought. And because Seattle traded for it.
They did.
Tennessee paid him and Vic Beasley big money to come there. He gave Jadeveon Clowney, what, 14 million? He had a lot of offers. He took that because he had his best season under Vrabel. If I'm not mistaken, Skip, that was the 2016